All right, thanks, Greg. We'll go ahead and call to order the Public Arts and Culture Commission December 15th meeting. Mackenzie, will you please read the roll call?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Lloyd?
Here.
Mr. Parthmore?
Here.
Mr. Ramsdow?
Here.
Ms. Reedy?
Here.
Mr. Stanley?
Here.
Mr. Steineman?
Here.
Mr. Sternberg?
Here.
Ms. Weichel?
Here.
Mr. Harris?
Here.
Ms. Newell?
Here.
Mr. Volz?
Here.
All right, with that, we all have received the minutes. Do we have any additions, corrections, or deletions? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's approved, seconded. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Nope, minutes will be approved. Moved into current business. Greg, would you care to touch on the review of the draft work plan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know I sent a updated draft plan to the commission this morning. I apologize. I left out the most important piece of the plan in the version I sent you in the packet last week. So that was my fault. I don't know if anyone had a chance to go through it, but I'm going to screen share and briefly walk through it. The first page is about the same. Let's see here. Okay. With the introduction, after we kind of review this once or twice, we have Leslie take it over and format it into the nice looking document that eventually gets approved with our budget. As an introduction, the purpose, the goals, I do make mention about COVID this year. And that's a little bit more something new that probably wanted to make note of that wasn't something in the past. The proposed projects, as discussed at the last meeting, the Columbus Avenue Streetscape. I don't know if you guys had any ideas, but I didn't want to put like too much prescriptive into this one. I thought just a streetscape and then just a crazy wacky project be sufficient just to give people an idea. That shows the 50,000. The wording here, I put could issue a call for artists or for a competition or immediate hiring to be part of a team to remake the main street of Sandusky, Columbus Avenue. By ensuring an artist is on the project team from the beginning, public art could be completely incorporated into the design of the project rather than placed after the project. So that's the big one. The rest were in previous plans. The City Hall's gallery, the sculpture exhibit. I did make note of the sculptures by the Polish artist that Lang Trust has wanted to do. I don't know the budget on that, but I know they aren't asking for us for funds, just a willingness to see it come to town. And then the artist-led grant, which will lead us into the next topic, but keeping that in there just to make sure that if artists have ideas, they can bring it to us and for review and approval. And then this is the overall potential budget. With that, I'll turn it back to the chairman. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Personally, yeah, I think that's a good route, a good approach with the streetscape. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Greg on the proposal of the work plan before we go ahead and make a vote?
No, I'm all about this work plan. I'm all for it. I think that it shows that we're actually coming a long way. So I'm really for this work plan. So the only thing I would just bring to mention the City Hall Gallery or scholarship. When that does come up, that it is mentioned that what's it say right here? Commission can choose to offer a prize for a crowd favorite or a commission favorite. I don't think that we should do that because some artists get extremely offended by that because you're putting them in competition, and a lot of these pieces are done from emotions and things. It's not like it's not like a grade school thing. So I would just for future references when it comes to that, just maybe ixnay the competition part of it. So other than that, I think this is phenomenal, and especially the Columbus Ave Streetscape and building it into it versus having to build around it. I just think it's great.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes. Yes.
to Robin's point, I actually thought that if it's up to the commission, if I could remove the proposed budget for the scholarship and maybe, to Robin's point, not have a financial winner in that, I think that'd be good. I would be more than happy to do that. Maybe we could use the funds to get the proper hanging materials and that sort of thing rather than winners.
Yeah, it seems like there's got to be some cost associated with the logistics of putting it on. But yeah,
You would also want to make sure that, like, if it's going in City Hall, maybe take that money and we use it to have like proper framing and things like that are gonna, because some artists, they might not want to frame their pieces, or they might be some very odd frames and stuff like that. So you never know what you're going to get, but I would use that to just make the pieces like more presentable to be there, and use the money for the material to hang them properly.
Or likewise to light them properly.
Right.
And give a consistent nameplate or some continuity to how they're not just the framing, but giving some recognition to the artists in a consistent way as well.
Right. I do agree with that, and especially what Cable said about the lighting.
Yeah, I was going to say the same as Adam.
Oops, you're muted.
Sorry. Wait, am I unmuted? Okay. I was going to agree with Adam. And actually Robin. I think the money should be used for the extras, kind of per se. And I think that like a name description, or even like a description of the artwork, or something about the artist, or some sort of description, not just the name, but if the artist was willing to give a description of, the background behind the artwork.
sounds like a lot of us are on that same page. Is anybody dissent from that view, or is that a potential change to the work plan that we need to note?
Do you need a motion to do that?
We would note that in the motion.
Then I will move that we'll accept the work plan as presented with that modification regarding the extra money.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Mackenzie, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Lloyd?
Yes.
Mr. Parkmore?
Yes.
Mr. Ramsdell?
Yes.
Ms. Reedy?
Yes.
Mr. Stanley?
Yes.
Mr. Steineman?
Yes.
Mr. Sternberg?
Yes.
Ms. Weichel?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Newell?
Yes.
Mr. Volz? Greg, you're on mute.
Yes, sorry.
All right, that motion passes. Move to the next item of business, the artist grant. Greg?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This was, I really did not change anything. As the commission may recall, we rolled this out probably at the most inopportune time in 2020 to have anyone respond to it. I believe it was in late February or March, I can't remember, but I just remember we rolled it out and Robin was working to get a big gathering together and all heck broke loose. So
Yeah, we had hundreds of people, say they were coming to that, and we had to cancel it.
yeah. So I didn't change anything. I just wanted to bring it back up for a review and see if it still holds water. And that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Greg. I think it's a great program. Anybody else have any comments or questions about the artist group led project grants?
Well, Robin, if you have hundreds of people, hopefully that will happen again.
Well, permitting, we were hosting, and we actually postponed
Right.
it. It was this big like meet and greet,
Right.
and it was put on social media, and we literally had hundreds of responses to it. But then it was too big of a group with
Right.
the pandemic, so I'm not quite sure when this might let up. But
Yeah. We just have to wait.
yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens toward the end of the year, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good thing to keep it in our work plan for this year, or for 2021, and hoping we can take advantage of that mid 2021, hopefully. All right, are you looking, Greg, do we need any motions for the artist grant, or is that in the work plan?
You're muted, Greg.
I'm taking notes as I do this, so my mind's everywhere. We don't need a motion, and by all means, if you want to review it between now and next month, this is a program that is we're fully up to this commission on. So if there's tweaks we want to change throughout the year, we can do that. It's kind of it's meant to be as flexible as possible. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Thanks, Greg. If we can just have some time to review, if anybody has any questions or comments on this over the course of the next month or so, feel free to reach out to myself, Greg. We can answer those questions or look to make some modifications if needed. With that, we can move to old business. Anyone have any items of old business? No items. How about new business? Looks like we have to set meeting schedules for next year.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to run, but if somebody could just drop me an email on the meeting schedules, my schedule's pretty wide open these days. This time of week works fine for me and time of day, so.
We'll do that. Thanks, Cable.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good evening.
Bye. Bye. Any suggestions? Are we on the calendar for the same date and time next year, Greg? Or did we just pass that today?
Mackenzie, do you want to?
Sure, if it's okay, Mr. Chairman, the City Commission has just been talking a lot about the boards and commissions and trying to make sure that they're at a time that is appropriate for people with families and, working people. And so we just wanted to come back before the committee. This is actually one of our later meetings starting at 5:15, but talk about the time and just make sure that it is convenient for most of the members of this committee. And then right now we're currently meeting the third Tuesday of the month, I believe. And so if we want to continue with that schedule, that is fine. But I think maybe just the conversation of time and the time of, 5:15, if that works, or if people would prefer, a 5:30 or a 6 o'clock, so that we can. The City Commission wants to make sure that, that people are volunteering for this, that they have, time and we aren't cutting into their workday. So
Sure. Personally, I think this is a good time for me. Anybody else have any comments on the time, or should we look to keep it the same and move forward with the 5:15?
I like it at 5:15. I would move forward with it.
I agree.
I agree.
Same here.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with it as well.
Same.
Okay, doesn't sound like there's any issues with that, so I think we'll go ahead and set the schedule for 5:15, the third Tuesday of the month. All right, with that, if there's any other new business? If there's no other new business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
I
Second.
All right, sounds good, guys. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy,
Yeah, sure.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
and a better new year.
Yes.
Yeah.